Good evening, everyone. Today I will be speaking on a very controversial topic, but one that is very dear to me. And as we go through this presentation, you will see why. Interestingly enough, I did all the research last week for the research paper in my composition class, so I figured why not use it here as well. I do wonder, though, what are the chances that my composition professor will accept this speech in lieu of the paper? Probably none. So let's get into it, shall we? My thesis is that biological and developmental science supports the argument that the human fetus is a living human organism in a natural and continuous state of development from the moment of conception and fertilization and should be treated as such morally and legally. Now, I want to point out that although I do come at this topic from a deeply held spiritual and religious viewpoint, I am deliberately not including religious arguments in this presentation. I will be approaching this with a strictly scientific basis, as many of my viewers may not hold the same religious ideals that I do and may even scoff at them. I want to prove my point from a secular and scientific frame of reference. Now, we have all witnessed all the debates taking place nationwide regarding women's reproductive health and abortion for the past 50 years. Now, as a mother of 6, I know without a doubt that my fetuses in my womb were alive. Now, too many young women throughout the Western world have been given conflicting information, which has led to the death of hundreds of thousands, even millions of innocent lives. Now, we must consider all moral and legal ramifications of our decisions in this matter, because this is now on the level of genocide, and in fact was promoted as that concept by the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, who was a noted eugenicist who systematically targeted inferior races for decades. Now, in doing my research, I came across the Charlotte Lazier Institute website. They provide groundbreaking scientific, statistical, medical research. They have over 70 scholars who are credentialed experts in medicine, science, bioethics, social services for women, just etc. And directly on their website, they state human development begins at conception when the sperm and egg fuse to form a single-celled human called a zygote. From the start, the zygote has a unique DNA sequence that creates his or her biological individuality. Now, you can see this chart here from the website, the Lazier Institute, and it details the stages of the zygote's development. You can see that it has a heartbeat at 3 weeks. The baby starts moving at 5 weeks, and it's now called a fetus, and it can move around. It plays with the umbilical cord. It sucks its thumb. It's just absolutely astonishing what the zygotes and the fetuses are capable of. They can feel pain. Now, technology has advanced enough so that ultrasounds are now done in 3D, which wasn't available when I had mine. And science also has advanced enough that infants are given a much greater survival rate in case of early removal from the womb. Now, you can see I included a slice regarding my audience. This was an absolute must for my research paper, and I felt it important enough to mention here. I'm hoping to reach young men and women of college age. They're entering the years of marriage and childbearing. I want to counter what is promoted through the online sites such as TikTok, Reddit, and all those places, because it is vital that these young adults are given all the information so they can make the best decisions possible. Now, I fully understand that there are sometimes medical circumstances in which abortion may be considered as a viable option. My heart breaks for these women, but I will always, always fully support their right to make such personal and weighty decisions. I just pray that the doctors provide them with all the information needed so they can make the best decision possible. Now, you might be wondering, Helen, why are you qualified to speak on this? What makes you qualified? Well, I say in response is because I have a unique yet pertinent perspective. I've been pregnant 8 times and had 6 live births. I've had a miscarriage and what's called a molar pregnancy. Now, a molar pregnancy is a situation in which the body believes it's pregnant, but the zygote never forms. As you can see here, we've got the embryo in a regular pregnancy. The molar one is just full of cysts that are filled with fluid. It is the definition of a clump of cells. My body aborted it naturally about 4 months. That was not fun, but I've been there, done that. I can also witness that toddlers and infants do indeed communicate. They may not use the words we use, but they communicate. Now, in researching abortion, it would absolutely have been remiss of me not to include the emotional and psychological after effects of having an abortion. Now, I ask you to please pause this presentation, go over the numbers. We have hundreds percentage greater likelihood of substance abuse, depression and anxiety, and even suicide attempts. 2025 study found that women who'd had abortions had approximately twice the risk of being hospitalized for a suicide attempt compared to women who gave birth. Now, combat veterans will all tell you when you take a life, it changes you. It's like ripping out a piece of your soul. And when it's your child, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just significantly much worse. Now, before I go, I wanted to show you a snapshot of why I believe so strongly in the pro-life movement. These are my babies, all 6 of them, and the dogs. I even have a shot here. This is my son and our grandbabies. Now, these are my life and my joy, and I cannot imagine my life if I had aborted any one of them, to deny them the opportunity to grow up into the incredible young men and women that they are. I have seen videos of young men and women saying, I had a really rough childhood, but I'm so thankful my mother never aborted me. I've seen videos of women saying, I'm so thankful I didn't abort my baby. It was hard, but I'm so glad I didn't do it. Now, in conclusion, it is my hope that you will join me in passing along this vital information to the young adults who have been told falsehoods by the internet. I urge you, do the research for yourself. Our young men and women have been lied to. We need to get this information to them to provide them with these resources so they can make informed decisions. They need to be given the truth because life is precious, and it is not our place to deny someone that life and all the possibilities that come along with it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful evening.